everyone. Welcome to the sixth episode for the Filipino Australian Lawyers Association. And thank you, Jana, for joining us today to share your work and initiatives with us today. To start off, could you share us more about your background, your school background, and your motivations to practicing law? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a very new lawyer.
Mhm.
It's 2 years since I've become admitted. My background really is I started in the Philippines. What I took up was computer engineering, bachelor's in computer engineering. That was a long time ago. I don't want to say the year. Yeah, so but then found out that I'm not really good on the technical field, but I'm very good at talking to people. So I used my qualification in the marketing side of things. So I was in brand management, product management for IT products. So there's still the technical backing, but it's more of selling it and marketing it. So for many years, I was like that. Even when I migrated in New Zealand, that was still my role. And then migrated to Australia, it's still my role. But then in Australia, that's when I studied immigration law. It was an interest because, I've met many Filipinos who were fooled by their advisors, people who have sold their farms just to have a better life. So I've heard those stories and I thought, how can I help our fellow Filipinos using my experience? And that's why I got interested in immigration law. So 2013, 2012, I've studied immigration law while still in the marketing field of IT. That's in Australia now. And then I finished that. I still wanted to carry on my marketing job because it pays the bills. Like I have the experience, I had the expertise before. It was so hard to just move into law. And as a new migration agent, it's really hard to get an employer. Employers want someone who's well experienced. So I was forced to set up my own business, which I wanted to because I wanted flexibility. At that time, we're trying to have a baby. And, I'm always busy. That's why we cannot conceive. So I did that. But the fear was, okay, may sweldo na ako na monthly, and then suddenly it's zero. So that was the fear. However, the fear of not, getting your license canceled because of the wrong advice, because you're not prepared, because kasi kung part-time ka, you don't really have time to look into the legislation. Australian law changes almost every day, right? So merong yearly changes. Pagka may mananalo sa court, may bago na naman. So that was the greatest fear, the greater fear than the sweldo, and also the passion of helping people. So yun na. It started in 2013.
Could you share us more for your current work right now? Any other areas in your business law that are just other than immigration, or you specifically focus on immigration?
So, kasi I have Bridge Oz Migration Consultancy, that's the migration side of things. But I also have Dragon Legal Services. So, syempre backing on my experience in immigration, talagang immigration law. But more complex cases na. Diba? Ito na yung nagtitribunal, pwedeng na mag-court, or yung talagang sobrang hirap na ma-approve, or, beyond the usual legislation. But yun nga, because I wanted to help my clients, marami silang other issues. Family violence ang talagang napupunta sa akin. I didn't choose this because of the stress, diba? Kasi very absorptive yung personality ko eh. So I absorb things from clients. They usually have that feeling after talking to me na they felt relieved. But then I bring all the the heartaches with me until I sleep at night. So that's why I would not really choose family violence. Pero kasi ayun ang dumadating. And because they trust me na I do their visas and stuff, and they talk to me about their issues. So dun ako napunta. I also do divorce kasi nga again it's related kasi sa partner visa or magpapa-points test ka, you wanna be single, pero yung mga ganyan. What else? Commercial law, konti, yung mga lease agreements, ganyan. So alam mo naman pag general practice, anything that in right? But I'm very honest with my clients that, hey, I'm a very new lawyer. I'm expert in immigration. Ito na yung mga nagawa ko. All the rest, I have a mentor who would help me. But I would still check whether it's something that we can do for you.
I have just one question po. Like from your experiences in your work and your experiences from working with a lot of experiences in immigration and other related cases that you work with, what are legal insights that you think that people would gladly know more about, especially with the work that you do? Like trends or topics that they would gladly to be more aware of in your work?
When you ask
generally po,
who wants to know, is it the public, is it the clients, is it the lawyers themselves?
Okay. That's a good. Right, generally po, mostly the audience for FALAW podcasts, like
all right.
So migrating from the Philippines, coming here, or their students, or yeah.
I think yung trends, insights. I just came across this report sa Victoria lang, report ng mga lawyers effect yung sa June 2022. So I was just interested to know kasi ilan ba ang lawyers that weren't born in Australia. Kasi 'di ba, we're FALAW So ito nga yung diversity and culture. So it says that on the 30th of June 2022, mga 26,000 lawyers sa Victoria. There are 26,000 lawyers, right?
Born outside Australia po.
No. The population
okay,
lawyers in Victoria. 26,000, 26,500, mga ganyan. And then, 20,500 were born in Australia. So, mga 5,000 tayong mga different nationalities, right? And then, of course, as FALAW, gusto natin malaman, ilan ba yung mga Pinoys? Kasi we're very small right? So, at that 5,000, we didn't even make it to the top 10 countries, right? Number 1, UK, Malaysia, New Zealand, China, South Africa, India, Sri Lanka, Singapore, US, Hong Kong. It's good na may mga, di ba? Kaya nga may Asian Australian lawyers. Marami rin kasi. But with Filipinos, konti pa I guess the insight na kahit I've been a lawyer 2 years pa lang, tapos matagal nga sa migration. Maraming issues kasi ang migrants. Right? And it really helps kung you're from the same culture. Kasi iba yung kultura naman natin sa Australia, iba naman ang law. No, little things, minsan nga de facto partner lang You really have to explain that. Wala namang ganun sa Philippines. Right? So yung mga rights are different. And because galing kang Pilipinas, yun ang law ng Philippines, kahit nagpunta ka sa Australia, yung conditioning mo ganun pa rin. Bawal yung ganito. Hindi ako pwede maganito. Kahit po pwede sa Australia. Or hindi pwede sa Philippines, hindi pwede sa Australia. Yung mga ganon. So, and I think it's of value na itong tayong mga Pilipino ngayon, na Australians, to help our fellow Filipinos and also encourage yung mga nag-aaral, 'di ba, ng law or gusto mag-law, 'di ba? Or encourage them to take up law. Kasi para sa atin ito 'di ba? Para lang ipaalam yung rights natin dito, tulungan sila.
Yes, thank you for sharing that po. Moving on po sa cultural diversity aspect ng podcast natin. Could you share us more of your experiences po with Australian culture, navigating that in your personal experiences, migrating with your family, and also in your law school experiences, and also in your work that you do right now po?
Alright, so migrating to Australia is not much different for me kasi galing nga ako
New Zealand.
So nasanay. Siguro yung mga shock ko nasa New Zealand. Hindi na dito kasi parang lumipat ka lang right? So I guess in terms of yung studying law na lang.
Okay po.
In studying here, iba kasi, 'di ba? You don't have to memorize it. You have to know where to find it. And to apply it. You can say Section 48 of this and that. It's like, yes, I can say that. But if you say that, do you know how to apply it? Diba? So, ang galing mo sabihin yung law, pero, right? So, and that's what I appreciate. Kasi diba, open book, pero kasi wala ka naman time tignan. Right? So, you really have to know how to navigate things and apply it. And it's also an advantage that may advantages and disadvantages. Maybe I'll wanna discuss sa mga gustong mag-lawyer, mga 30 to 50 na. Right? Kasi late na ako right? Late na ako nag-lawyer And the good thing about it is that we have experiences in life. Diba? Kasi law yan practical stuff yan ng tao. Diba? Mga issues nila sa buhay. Ikaw, diba? Matagal ka na, nag-aasawa ka na, diba? Nagtrabaho ka na, na-redundant ka na dati. Yung mga ganyan. So, yung mga issues na ganyan, ma-relate mo na kaagad. You can relate to the clients easily. The not so good thing about it is that, yun na nga, the way we do the licensing. You're already an adult, diba? Tapos, and you have to work pa for a firm and okay naman, yun. However, ayun lang, syempre, iba na yung level of experience mo. Your technical stuff on the legal side, syempre hindi pa. You really still have to learn. But sometimes, how the firms are set up, it's really not meant for 30 to 50-year-old people coming in. It's meant for 20s to come in. Kasi di ba yung mga training nila, it's different, it's my first time in the job.
For the advice naman aspect po, do you have any advice to young lawyers, aspiring lawyers, or people migrating from the Philippines coming here generally, or want to take up law in your experience as well?
Alright, so let's break it down to two, right? Yung mga gustong mag-migrate.
Okay.
So yung mga gustong mag-migrate dito, ayun lang, dapat risk-averse kayo. Right? Hindi lahat sigurado, hindi. Di ba? If, yun nga, kung ugali mo is, yung ine-expect mo, manager na ako sa Philippines, manager din ako doon. Top performer ako sa school. Kasi ibang eskwelahan dito, ibang eskwelahan doon. So, kailangan mong i-accept that it can be a different life for you. It can be better, but in a different way. Right? Yun, wag kang yun sa risk-averse. Tapos, be ready for a reset. Yun, the same rin. Yung isa kasi parang nag-expect ka na ito ka. Tapos, ito naman, ready ka dapat mag-reset. Sometimes it fails when in the mind of the migrant, marami naman akong babalikan sa Pilipinas. Ito yung ganito ko. Ito yung sa Pilipinas ganito. Kasi once you find yourself saying that, sa Pilipinas nga ganito ganito ganyan you have to ask yourself, bakit ka ba nandito kasi? Right? What's your goal? Anong gusto mo? A better life? New environment? Kung ano man yun. And then stick to it. Kasi if we still have that chance sa Philippines, minsan, yun nga, nasusway na parang hindi. Ganyan. Yung sa, naman, so that's for the migrants, in generally speaking. Sa mga maglolo naman, yun nga, kung lawyer ka na sa Philippines, ibang-iba talaga dito. Okay rin kung lawyer ka na sa Philippines, baka ilang units na lang, di ba? I-take mo. What else? Walang board exam. Which is really good. And yun nga, really understand the process. Hindi lang yan, ayun nga, kasi kung alam mo sa Philippines, mas may lisensya ka na, pwede ka na mag-work kahit saan, ganito, ganyan. Understand the yung sa work side, paano ka magkakatrabaho? Kasi yun ang mahirap Ang dami-daming lawyers na newly graduate, di ba? So saan ka pupunta? May mga different kinds of law firms pa, may tier 1s, di ba? May mga ganitong klase, community legal center, o pwede ka bang sa corporate ka? So you really have to think about that far away. Hindi lang yung, maglulo ako para lawyer ako sa Australia. Hindi siya ganun kadali. Well, in my experience, pati yung mga malalapit sa akin na experience. Kasi nga, we came in as adult na. Maybe it's different when you're younger.
Thank you po, Joanna, for sharing your initiatives and work with us and being part of this podcast series po. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Diane.
Thank you po.
Bye.